This is Mr. Happy.
And I'm the G-Man.
And we are back in the war zone. Now, if you guys want to be a part of the live show, I need you guys to get on the studio line right now. 702-479-5254 is the number. If you're using Skype, which is a great way to get on the show, Skype us at Tunes and Talk. Now, we've been having some issues because I directed people to our official site, Warzone Online. That kind of was a snafu, didn't go off the way I hoped it would. So now we're trying to get everybody directed back over to the lvrocks.com website. And you guys should be able to listen to the live show there and also click on the live chat button at the top to join us in the chat room. If you're going to join us in the chat room, give us a username so I can call you out when you say something cool in the chat room. We got a few people... snafu, I said. We got a couple people in the chat room.
Yes, we do.
All right. Hopefully that doesn't screw the whole show up with people not being able to find us.
They'll be able to find us. We got the number.
I know my mom is supposed to be listening on somewhere right now. She's probably lost
somewhere
in translation.
Oh, no.
So I hope not.
Hey, it's all right. We got a few people in the chat room, and to continue on here, I guess we're going straight into it, or you have anything else to say, Mr. Happy, before we get started?
I think I got all the announcements out of the way, so without further ado, let's bring on Vince, Facebook Vince.
Is he there?
He should be here.
Okay.
Vince.
Yes, I'm here.
There he is.
Hey, man, he sounds good. Holy moly. All right.
Now, Vince, before we get started destroying each other, I know you're a former Marine, correct?
Yes, I am.
A former drill sergeant.
Yes.
So our salute to you, my friend.
That's correct.
We respect anybody that serves their country here in the war zone.
Right.
And thank you, and my salute to you guys, too.
Well, Vince, me and George are absolutely opposed to gay marriage, so change our minds. What you got?
Well, I think gay marriage, or any kind of a marriage, should be a privilege for any American in the country. I mean, we have our First Amendment rights, we have the Bill of Rights, and I don't think anybody should be discriminated against.
Okay, so...
Well, I will tell you something real quick, Vince.
Okay.
I totally understand where you're coming from. Again, this is the G-Man. I understand your view. I understand everyone's view concerning that. Again, I am a traditionalist. I mean, that's, I'm not going to go into any detail. It's, I was brought up in a more conservative household, and I do believe everyone has the right to be with whoever they want. I'm just not sure that gay marriage, they should be able to go that far with it. Well, technically.
Let me start off by asking Vince, how would you define marriage in the perfect world? Give me like a one-sentence definition of how you would like to see marriage defined.
How would I like marriage defined?
I know I put you on the
Two people
spot.
that are in love with each other, that are consenting adults, that are not harming anybody. They should be allowed to be married.
Okay, that's a fair description. So here's my question, and one of my big problems with the gay marriage argument. If we allow gay marriage, okay, and we all say, okay, gay marriage is legal, and then the next group up in line to fight for their rights is the polygamists. So now they are opposed to your definition of marriage because you said it has to be between two people. So then we have to change marriage again and say, okay, up to 5 people can get married.
Right,
and
to
then,
5 wives.
and then the 10 polygamists step up and say, well, what about us? And then, okay, well, the 10 people. And then after all the polygamists are done getting married and everybody's happy in America, then the incestuous people say, hey, I want to marry my grown daughter because I love her and we're 2 people. So to me, it just opens up a non-ending, chain reaction, which doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I agree. Go ahead, Vince. Go ahead.
Yeah, let Vince talk.
That's a decent argument you have. I understand your point where you're going with that. However, my point is that heterosexuals, for instance, when did they get the right to marry? I mean, I hear all these people saying, well, gay people want special rights. These aren't special rights. They just want to marry the person they love. Just like I didn't have to apply for special rights when I got married to my wife. So, I mean, I can understand the whole, polygamists are going to want it. Now incestual people are going to want it. Next thing you know, they'll be leading to bestiality. I think that's a ridiculous argument, to tell you the truth.
Well, the bestiality is a little far-fetched, obviously. I do not think the polygamous argument is at all far-fetched, and I don't even think the incestuous argument, because to me, and of course I come to this from a Christian perspective, so excuse my ignorance in saying something like this, but
Obviously.
for me it's all deviant sexual behavior, no matter how you slice it. To me, homosexuality is just the same as all those other sexual deviant behaviors. They just happen to be a little more popular than the rest of the world.
You just pissed off millions of gays.
I'm sure. If I would have said it about bestiality, I would have
Right.
made all those guys mad too.
Right.
I'm not really here to make people happy.
Right. Well, no, man and women, marriage between a man and woman has been around since the beginning of time. I don't think you should mess with whatever it is, Mother Nature, religion, God, whatever. That's just the way it's been. And to populate the world, a man and a woman had to get together to have a loving relationship to reproduce. That's messing with Mother Nature. I just don't know if gay marriage and gay couples, are there gay couples out there that raise children? Yes, and have a decent life? Yes. But I think really for the sake of, tradition and history, it should stay the way it is. That's all.
Well, tradition and history is one thing, but I mean, this does open up the door to the religious argument. However, in our country, we're not supposed to make any laws, or Congress is not supposed to pass any laws respecting one's religion, A. And if you go back to what some of our founding fathers said, like in the Treaty of Tripoli, they said that the United States is not a Christian nation in any way. Thomas Jefferson said our civil rights have no dependence on religious opinions. So I don't think religion should be brought into this at all. I mean, I respect you if you're a Christian, that's cool. I'm not a Christian. And I don't believe that whatever my religion may be, that I have the right to infringe on other people's beliefs as well, just because of my religion. And I think that's what the argument is in this debate.
Well, let me go at this from a different angle for a second, Vince. Okay, so we can agree we live in a democratic society in that we all vote, right? We all vote legislation into place.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times that's to the detriment of smaller groups. A lot of times smaller groups suffer because of a majority rule of law. And in this situation, what we're talking about is a vast majority of the world's population is opposed to homosexuality and gay marriage. You can see it in the 30 states of the United States that have put a constitutional amendment in place. You can see it in all the countries around the world that kill homosexuals or outlaw it. So if that many people are opposed and you have a small group, and sure, you can say millions, but we're talking about what, 8 billion people on Earth?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. There are millions, maybe even 100 million. I don't know how many.
Still small compared.
It's a very small number of people want to basically say, this is my behavior. I know everybody else. I know all you people looking at me say it's a deviant behavior, but I want it to be recognized at the same level as everybody else's, and they're saying no. So for me, what you have to do is you have to change minds and hearts. You have to convince the rest of the people in the world, or at least in the United States or where you live, that your way is the right way. And I wish you good luck on that measure. I just don't think it's ever going to happen.
Well, the way I look at it, you only have 8 states that allow gay marriage. So you got a long way to go to get the other 42 states to pass laws pertaining to that. So there's a long way to go. I don't think it'll happen within my lifetime that everyone agrees with it, but that's just my opinion again.
Vince, I'll give you about another minute or so. We got to go to break here in a couple minutes, but what do you got?
Okay. All I was going to say on that, as far as we are a democratic nation, I understand that, and states do have the rights per the 10th Amendment to pass laws, but also the 14th Amendment says that you can't pass a law to discriminate against a group, and everybody in that state has equal protection under those state laws. So if you start passing laws, which basically is what's happening, the states that outlaw gay marriage don't necessarily have laws on the books. They just said you can't get married. So now you have to put other laws to give people special rights or what you consider special rights, and they're not special rights. They're just rights. They're rights that every American has and every American should have. And when a group of people, a majority of people get together, they could pass a law about any group of people. For instance, once upon a time in our country, interracial couples could not get married. That was against the law. They had to pass constitutional laws to allow interracial couples to get married, and that's just ridiculous in my opinion. I think the gay marriage issue is ridiculous. If two people love each other and want to get married and they're not hurting anybody, they're not breaking any laws, then let them get married, and that's my argument.
All right, valid argument. One thing I would say, I know we're getting up on a break here, but one thing I would like to say about what you just said, you kind of referenced the 14th Amendment. You kind of referenced equal protection under the law and people groups. And I'm no lawyer. None of us are here lawyers, but in my perspective as a layman, gay is not a people group. For me, people groups have to be defined by culture, by history, by language, and gay is a behavior that crosses all cultures. So you can't say a behavior, in my opinion, a behavior cannot be a people group that is protected. That's just my opinion. Hang on the line with us, Vince. I want to keep you going in this conversation.
Okay.
We got to hit a break, and I got a bunch of people in the chat room there that said thank you for your service.
Finally,
and,
yes, we got people in the chat room.
yeah, I got to get on this chat room, guys. I'm sorry I've been distracted with this conversation, but everybody hold on. We're going to be right back.
Hello, everybody. This is Aaron Phillips from Vegas and Rap Productions, and I'm sitting here with my good friend G-Man from the War Zone. How are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing so good right now. I'm glad Mr. Happy's not in here.
Well,
he talks too much.
Before we find out more about that, the name of the show is The War Zone every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Is that not right?
You got it.
And what makes your show special?
Oh, we talk about headlines, politics, and religion, and we go at it. Really at it.
Who usually wins, you or him?
I do. I always win. Everything I say is the right thing.
Hey. What the hell's going on in here, G-Man?
Oh, come on.
Are
what
you
are you
talking
doing?
smack behind
Get
my back?
out of here.
I can't leave the room for 5 seconds.
All right. Now, I thought it was G-Man and Mr. Happy.
It's Mr. Happy and the G-Man
Whatever.
on the War Zone, pal.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, my goodness. You better listen to these guys every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. here on The War Zone, lvrocks.com.
You're unbelievable.
Get out of the room, man. Will you stop?
I just came back and
Give me my
you get
pen
out of
back.
the
Give me
room.
my pen back.